Okay, I told you that today we would be answering some questions I posted on YouTube that I would do a Q&A today, because I've had a few people that have asked me different questions at different times, and I've answered some of them, the ones I posted on YouTube, but I just thought I would do a Q&A and let people ask me personal questions, questions about the business, questions about my crafting, a certain product, or whatever. I didn't get that many questions. I was really surprised, because normally I get lots of questions under my YouTube on different things, but you know, if you have questions that you would like to ask me, leave them in the comments below, and we will do another one of these maybe next Friday and answer your questions. Okay, Brian Gibson wants to know, what is the best glue to use? Every kind I've tried makes the paper so stiff. Okay, the best glue, hands down, is our art glitter glue. This is absolutely fantastic. It is water-based, but it does not leave your paper stiff. It does not leave your paper too moist to where it buckles in the middle. This is just the best glue I've ever used. I buy it by the gallon because I love this stuff. But this is, and I will leave a link to this art glitter glue below. So that is that one. Amy Walker says, how long have you been scrapbooking or crafting? This is my, let's see, I started when my grandson was born, and next month, in June the 20th, he will be 17. So I have been scrapbooking and crafting for 17 years. So that's quite a long time. Alright, a Trace of Sparkle. And this is Jennifer. She wants to know, when and how did you open scrapbooking with me? How long have you been crafting, and what is your favorite thing to make? Okay, let's take the first part. When and how did you open scrapbooking with me? It really was an accident how I opened scrapbooking with me, to tell you the truth. About, let's see, 16 years ago maybe. My daughter and I, we were scrapbooking together, crafting, and everywhere we would go, we would pick up a few craft supplies, and a lot of times we would get duplicates because she would buy the same thing that I had bought. So one night we had a big crop here, and if you don't know what a crop is, leave me a question below and I will explain that to you. But we had a crop here, and we had lots of product just laid out, product that we had bought, just laid out on a table, and told people that they were welcome to use it if they wanted to. A lot of the people used it, but they give us money for it. They didn't want to just use it for free, so they would pay us whatever we paid for it. They would pay us that. So that kind of started a little bit, and then in 2005. My husband had open heart surgery and kidney failure, and he has congestive heart failure. So he was in the hospital for 34 days, and I stayed down there with him. I had a really good job at that time, but it was coming to the point to where when he got home, he was going to have somebody here with him. We weren't able to leave him home alone, in other words. So I started thinking about ways that I could make money from home and not have to go to my job where I was working about 50 hours a week. So I was thinking that I was going to quit the job, and before I could actually quit the job, I broke this wrist, and all of the bones in this wrist, messed it up really bad. So it kind of got decided for me that it was time for me to leave my job and stay home with my husband. But at this point, we didn't know how we was going to make it, because he wasn't getting any disability. Of course, his job wouldn't pay him disability because it was, physically related heart stuff, and it wasn't anything related to his job. And regular disability, Social Security disability, doesn't start until after you've been off on disability for 6 months. So he was drawing nothing, $0, and with me out of work, I was drawing for the first 13 weeks, I was drawing my, disability from work, but After that, it was going to be nothing. And of course, that disability is not like a full paycheck. So we were trying to decide how that we were going to make it. And, we were praying about it. And we just turned it over to the Lord and said, here it is. This is what we've got. And I knew that I needed to be home with him. And so God just said, quit your job. Don't go back. And so I didn't go back after my arm was healed. I didn't go back to work. And I stayed at home with him. We struggled trying to get his disability started. I will not lie to you. It is terrible, at least in the state of Alabama. I don't know about any other state, but around here, they act like that money is actually theirs. Even though we have paid it in and worked for it all those years, they try to keep it from you. So I had to just bombard them with paperwork, and he had 32 doctors that had seen him in the time that he was in the hospital. So I got every doctor to write letters to the Disability Association trying to get his disability started. We did get it started after the 6-month period. It wasn't easy, but we got it started. I am one that does not give up. I will bug you to death if you owe me something, or if you need something, I will bug you to death about it. But if you are trying to get disability, just don't give up. The best thing is just keep plugging, keep bombarding them with paperwork. But let's don't get on that. Anyway, so I was trying to find a way that I could stay home, make some money, and support him, support myself, keep my, at that time we still had a daughter at home, and she was in college. So we was trying to figure out a way that we could do it all. And, basically we pulled out our 401k from his work and my work, and we lived on that until we could get things going. And then my daughter, Melina, she said, Mom, why don't we just try to start a scrapbooking store business? Maybe we can sell some things. So we kind of started off really, really slow. We bought a few things, and then we had quite a bit. And at first I would just go on Facebook, and I would list them on those groups where, those sale groups. I would just list some things on there. And I saw that it was really picking up, that it was selling. And so I thought, well, why don't I open up my own group and just do it from there? So I opened up Scrapbooking with Me Boutique. Let's see, this is this is our 10th year maybe? I would have to go back and look to see exactly what year we opened it up. But I opened it up, and I just had a few things around here that, I wanted to sell. And I had lots, I had duplicates of things and things I had bought that I wasn't using. So I would just list those on there, and they were selling, everything was selling out. So I thought, okay, well, maybe I'll try to get a business license and see if I can start buying some things wholesale. So I knew nothing about that kind of thing, because I've always worked for someone else. So I went to the courthouse and filled out the little application for my business license, got it, paid them, the money, and came home and started just going on email and emailing different companies, Bo Bunny, Graphic 45, Tim Holtz, just emailing all of them and saying, I would like to sell your product in my store, and giving them a link to the store. At that time, it was just a Facebook sale group, and a lot of companies will not let you sell their product on Facebook. Believe it or not, they want you to have a .com store. Well, I really didn't have the money at that time to open up a .com store. I didn't have, the money to put in there every month that you have to pay for your website and that kind of thing. So I was just, I would have to go to the companies that allowed me to sell on Facebook. And I found a few companies that would do that, and then, I would have to order the bare minimum from them because I didn't have a lot of money to put into it. So I ordered just, I would find the companies that said you can order $100 worth or $50 worth or whatever, and I would order just the bare minimum and then post it on there and sell, and when I would get the money back, from my sales, I would take the portion that I needed to, buy groceries and gas and that kind of thing, and then I would put the rest toward another order. And I just kept doing that and kept doing that and just kind of turning it over and over, and it continued to grow. And then in, let's see, this is the 4th year, I believe. I think this is the 4th year that we've had our .com store. I was able to set up the website, and I set that website up by myself. It's not as user-friendly as it could be, but it was the cheapest website that I could find that kind of did what we needed it to do, and one that I could set up myself, that I could build on my own. I had no technical knowledge on any kind of building a website, nothing. I still don't. My son-in-law does, thank goodness. But you know, I would work at night and sometimes all night long and try to set the website up and add a few things on there. And it was a while that we didn't get any sales on our .com store because so many people was already used to buying from us on Facebook. And still we get, you know, probably 3 times as many sales through our Facebook store as we do our .com. And it's just because people like that one-on-one with you. You know, they like being able to just message you right under the product and say, you know, how do you use this or whatever. So that was, you know, that's a good reason why. So that's kind of how it all got started. It was really out of necessity that I had to make some money somehow. And then the second one, part of her question is, how long have you been crafting and what is your favorite thing to craft? I have been what I would call scrapbooking for the 17 years. And I still think, if I think about it long and hard, I still love scrapbooking. I still love taking the photos of my grandchildren and putting them down on paper and being able to write notes about them and what happened that day and that kind of thing, because that's preserving your memories. That is keeping something that hopefully, you know, my great-grandchildren one of these days will be able to look through there and say, oh look, this is what Nene said about us so many years ago. But I guess my very favorite thing to do would be upcycle projects. I love upcycling something. I like taking something that is old and giving it new life. I love that. That is probably my very favorite thing to do. I still have the love for scrapbooking. I just don't have the time to do it because it is very time consuming and I don't have that kind of time in my days. But so I think upcycling projects is my favorite thing to do, and I love sharing them with you. I love coming on here and having, you know, a tissue box or whatever, and taking that tissue box and showing you how to turn it into something that can be used again, and it's home decor and it's really beautiful. So I guess that is it. Okay, I think I answered all of those questions. Cheryl's Place, and this is Charlene, she wants to know, when does Miss E get to craft? And do you do swaps? I get to craft when you see me craft. When you see my videos, that's my crafting time, believe it or not. I very seldom have time to just sit down and dedicate a half a day or a few hours or whatever to a craft for myself. When I craft, I try to do the video on it because I do want to share it with everybody. I want everybody to be able to see how it's done in case they want to do one. So, and I love turning the camera on and being able to talk to you guys. I know you're not there in the room with me, but sometimes it feels like you are. And you're my family. You're my people. And do you do swaps? I used to do lots of swaps. I actually started in a group called the Secret Sisters many years ago. That's where I met Tammy. That's where I met Janice. Oh, I met lots and lots of friends through there. But that's where Tammy and I got acquainted, and we have been just like sisters ever since. And she, you know, came on board with our store just shortly after I opened it up, and she's been with me ever since. But we did lots of swaps in there, and I have done a few swaps since then, it's just hard for me to do swaps, because when I have to sit and dedicate a certain amount of time to doing something for somebody else, or, you know, getting a package together for somebody that, you know, I get plenty of packages together every day, but they're to ship out to you guys, to my customers who have purchased. So for me to just do a swap just for fun, it's hard for me to have time to do that. I would love to. I enjoyed the swaps, but it's just hard for me to have time to do that kind of thing. So, you know, yes, I would do swaps, but no, I don't have time to do them anymore. Hopefully one day when we can hire more people, I'll be able to get back into crafting again and doing lots of swaps. I would love to, but we'll see. That hopefully is down the road somewhere. Okay, that was all the questions, believe it or not, that we had. And I know I've talked plenty through all of those. But if you have any questions that you would like for me to answer, maybe next Friday we'll do another one. If you'll just put the questions in the comments below, I will be happy to answer whatever questions you have. If you have questions on some of the things that I've talked about today, then put those down there as well. I'll be glad to answer what I can. And don't forget, starting tomorrow, Saturday, and I think that's the 27th if I'm not mistaken. I don't even know what today is. Anyway, it's Saturday. It's tomorrow after you're watching this today. At 10 a.m. starts our Memorial Day weekend save-a-thon. So it will run Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. So we have lots and lots of things that we're clearancing out. We need to get rid of some inventory. We have a small shop and it's just not large enough to hold a large inventory, so I try to get rid of a lot of the older inventory as we bring new inventory in. And then I probably will be selling a lot of my bling that I haven't opened too. As you can see, I have a few. But I'm also going to have an album, and I will be doing an e-destash album, and that's some of the things that I have that I'm not really showing any love to. I don't have time to use, and I want somebody else to get the good out of them. I don't want them to just sit here and ruin. So I'll be selling off quite a few things, so watch for that. It will be a separate album from the sale albums, the clearance albums. It will be an album that just says E's Destash. And some of the things will be slightly loved. Some of the things will not be opened at all. So if you want to get in on some of that, then make sure that you are a member of Scrapbooking with Me Boutique. It will not be on our .com store. It will only be on the Scrapbooking with Me Boutique on Facebook. That link will be below. You just click over there and ask to join, and one of the admins will add you. But it would be better to go ahead and join tonight so that you can read the rules, and go ahead and send us your email address, because we do invoices on Mondays. Now this coming week we will do invoices on Tuesday, simply because Monday is Memorial Day and we're still doing the sale. So we will do invoices on Tuesday. So make sure that you go over and go ahead and join, read the rules, and then send one of me or one of the admins your email address so that we'll have it prepared when you get through purchasing all of your goodies from the sale. Okay guys, we will let you go. Again, thank you so much for the questions, and if you have any more that you would like to ask me about me, my husband, my family, products, whatever, product reviews, anything, just let me know in the comments below. We will talk to you guys later. Please don't forget to give us a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. Bye-bye.